Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for anybody that is new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links in the description box below, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member on the channel. So today we are doing a pep talk from the universe, from source, from spirit, whatever it is that you choose to call it. Does not matter. It's just a pep talk from the powers that be. We are going to be using the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. This is what the book and the box looks like. Okay, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into your prayer, and we will get this reading underway for you. Got it, Zoe? Good girl. All right. Let's see if we can get this going. There we go. Hey, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. I ask that you bless us with peace at this time. The journey is long. The journey is hard. The journey is sometimes something that we all wish to give up on. And we know that giving up on it means that we're awakened and just stagnant. And it's impossible to give up on when the journey becomes the only thing that we know. And so this is a prayer for those that need that encouragement. This is a prayer for those that need that reminder. This is a prayer for those that need that clarity that everything is going to be okay, and that even though it has its hardships and its difficulties, that this journey is indeed worth it. Please hold our hand. Please lift us up. Please guide us in love and in light, and surround us with synchronicities and confirmations at all turns that give us the courage and the bravery to continue forward on this very difficult journey. Even though it is entirely fulfilling and rewarding, at times we wonder if it is, because we're so lost in the heaviness of this realm. And so I ask that you make it lighter. Take some of our burden, Source, and help carry us through, because we really need that at this time. As these words are spoken unto this tribe and upon this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you so much. And let me go ahead and get that set up over here. All right. We are good to go. I already gave these a shuffle, so we're going to get to it. So source, for pile number 1. What Sacred Rebel Oracle card will help us better understand the pep talk that you would like to give to pile number 1? What Sacred Rebel Oracle card will help us better understand the pep talk that you would like to give to pile number 1? Thank you. Source, for pile number 2. What Sacred Rebels Oracle card will help us better understand the pep talk that you would like to give to pile number 2? Thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what Sacred Rebels Oracle card will help us better understand the pep talk that you would like to give to pile number 3? Thank you. All right, so collective reading. Interesting, we've got the Shock of the New. This was actually the very first card that came out for me when I first got this deck. I love this deck so much. This is just about really honing into those things that, you know, the shock of the new. It's something new to us, right? Even this journey, even though we've been on it for some time, there's still something new to it. It's very unconventional. It's very different. And even other people who've been on the journey, they can't always give us that go-to answer. And so we always have to trust ourselves. It says, what wild unconventional voice is calling to you? Can you hear it? It is so different and so unusual. It might be hard to decipher. Like hearing an unfamiliar language for the first time. It might be hard to discern with great clarity, but now there is an affinity between you and this strangely beautiful newness seeking to manifest. There is a stirring at the deepest level within you. Something new will break through, and the process of this birth may be a shock to you. The shock will transform into great joy and a sense of tremendous liberation. You must bear the strangeness first. The strangeness might be something that rattles your beliefs about yourself and your world, daring you to become more of yourself, more open to where life is leading you, and more willing to be the unique sacred art being crafted by the hand of the universal creator. Nature never shies away from strange beauty. She allows for endless diversity, and her sacred works are often peculiar and stunning. You live within her field of creative grace as a specially crafted work that also creates. You're being asked to surrender any fear that you have of being seen as exotic, unusual, eccentric, or bizarre. You're being asked to make peace with a strange beauty and to let it happen through you in creative flow. Perhaps you need to allow the conventional ideas of beauty to become even more inspired and open. Perhaps you can allow your need for the world to behave according to your fixed ideas to fall away. You will receive so much more in its place. This oracle comes with a special message for you. There are rumblings and stirrings of the creative life force happening now, deep in the undercurrents of your being. If you are very attuned or sensitive, you may have consciously felt this already with excitement, discomfort, or both. If you have not yet sensed these inner stirrings, they are happening all the same. So be on the lookout for the big shift of new birth, the shock of the new, the unconventional, the strangely beautiful, and the disturbing liberation of that which is foreign stepping into your life. This is life creating the stage upon which you will experience greater fulfillment. Don't be nervous if the rumble of change turns into a mighty roar that rocks boats, bursts forth as novel ideas, and changes things in a way that is out of your control. This is life happening. Free fall into it. The shock of the new comes to you saying the old way is on its way out. You're being invited, dragged, nurtured, and coerced into the new. You can handle it. This oracle brings you guidance. You're about to encounter something new and different in your life. This is helpful. Don't reject it, no matter how small or insignificant or how powerful and life-changing it may seem to be. You are being asked to dispense with your reliance on the past and what have been your tools to navigate life. You've outgrown your old methods, and you will have to fly by the seat of your pants, so to speak, as you experiment with new ways to live. Life will show you the way. Speaking your truth. Don't be afraid of who you are. And don't be afraid of what you want to express in this world either. And I feel like that's something that's definitely needed, especially for a reading like this, because sometimes we get so scared about who we are and what it is that we want to bring forth and the types of things that we want to create in this world. And it's like, but what if it's not accepted? Or what if people judge me? Or what if people have something to say? You know what? There's always going to be someone wanting to say something somewhere about what it is that you're doing. And I don't usually curse, but the only way to say it is the saying in and of itself. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's just life, right? So I'd rather be damned if I do, because at least I'm happy. Regardless if that makes other people happy or not, that's not the point. And that's the type of attitude that Source really wants you to take in this. It's like, it doesn't matter if it makes other people happy. The only thing that will ever matter is if it makes you happy. And that's the only thing that is it's the far most important thing that you can focus on in this journey, especially when you're doing something that is weird or different or unusual or unconventional. That's what the spiritual journey is all about. It's not unique, or I'm sorry, it's anything but normal. It's unique. And the more that you pour into that, the more that you embrace that, the easier it is to really turn away from the societal norms around us that have constructed this life in a way that's so constricting and suffocating. So let yourself open up to the potential of what can be, right? Okay, so for pile number 1, we do have this beautiful piece of amethyst. Choose your amethyst day. Okay. Or you have this dice with the sun. Okay, for pile number 2, we have this beautiful piece of amethyst. Or this dice with the moon. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful amethyst. And we have this dice with Venus on it. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the one for you. And with that, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful amethyst, or if you were drawn to this dice with the sun on it, or if you're drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading, your pep talk from the universe. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for anybody that is new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would really mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, what is the pep talk for pile number 1 from you, Source? What would you like to share with them today? What is the pep talk that you have for pile number 1 today, Source? What would you like them to know? Okay, so we've got the 12th house, Jupiter energy, and Cancer. Feeling like this is about your spiritual journey and the things that you're learning. I just heard, will I ever learn enough? Like enough to do what I want, enough to, you know, move forward with what I want to share and express in the world. And there's this energy that's coming where Source is saying, like, now is enough. Like, you have enough knowledge right now. You have to see it like that, though, right? Like, no one can convince you of that. It's like, if you're always waiting for there to be like the right moment or to have just the perfect amount of knowledge, like, you're never gonna start. And so there's this fear of starting right now, and there's this fear of doing the next step, and there's this fear that's coming through, like, I can't do it. But Source is showing you here, especially with Cancer in the center here, that you're nurturing this process, and you'll always be nurturing it. Like, there's, especially if you're learning something, right? And this could even be schoolwork that you're doing. It doesn't have to be the spiritual journey. It just feels like it, especially with the 12th house and Jupiter here. It feels like this has to do with your spiritual journey, but it could also be like something that you're choosing to learn on your journey. And that could be school, that could be something that you're taking classes and courses for, that could be something that you're reading more about, that could be something that you're personally learning on your own, outside of a natural schooling environment, whatever it is. But it's like this feeling like, am I ever going to get enough? Am I ever going to get to that point where I'm like fluent enough in this language, or where I have enough spiritual knowledge to share with people, or where I have enough to inspire people, or where I have enough to become a life coach, or where I have enough to practice medicine, or where I have enough to actually teach, you know, law, or be in a courtroom. And it's just about the process, right? That's really what Source is saying here. Like, trusting the process is so vital for you. Like, you're coming so far in such a short time, but because it's not instantaneous, there's this fear that it's not enough or you're not obtaining enough, but that's not true. That's an illusion. And rather than looking at it as if you have enough, look at how much you've already learned and look at how far you've come in such a short time. And remember to take care of yourself and remember to keep watering this seed, right? It's a seed that you planted. And that is so important for you to continue to water that seed and to take care of it. And the more that you show up, even if you're afraid, the easier it is for you to face and overcome the fear that comes from not being good enough or imposter syndrome or anything that we all humans feel because we're human, right? The full range of emotions. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, they're all there. We all worry about things at one time or another. Or we all feel like we're not going to be good enough to share our talents or our wisdom or knowledge or skills. We all feel that. Like, that's not people who are going the distance that you see going the distance or that you see doing what they're supposed to be doing or what they've wanted to do. It's not like that person was devoid of fear. They had courage in face of fear. And that's what Source is telling you. Have courage in face of your fear. Yes, it is scary, but do it anyways. Do it anyways and see what happens, right? That's the only way you're going to see things happen for yourself and move forward. This really feels like overcoming that fear or that imposter syndrome is coming through as well here. And also trusting that it is an abundant time for you and trusting that abundance can come from whatever it is that you wish to share with the world. It doesn't matter what it is. It's going to be different for everyone here, but it's just that there is abundance here. It feels like you're very much on the right path. But it does feel like there's a lot of negative thinking and a lot of, past energy that's playing a part here, where maybe you were convinced by someone else or other people that you were never going to be able to do this. Like, I keep hearing that, so say that like you had a friend who did this, or that you know someone and you follow someone who's doing exactly what you're doing. So I'm just going to use Warren Buffett as an example here. Like, you want to become a billionaire, right? He's a billionaire. You want to become a billionaire, and so you read all about Warren Buffett, you read about all his lifestyle choices, and you're following all his lifestyle choices, and maybe you shared that with your family, you shared that with people who you love, and they're all like, you're never going to become a billionaire, right? This is just the example. So take this and apply it to whatever your situation is, okay? And you're like, yes, I am, because Warren Buffett told me if I follow these examples and I trust in the process, I'm going to become a billionaire. And so, you wake up every day and you read the same reports that he reads, you read the same books he reads, like you go through all the process, but everyone's saying like, well, yeah, Warren Buffett is Warren Buffett. Like, he's special, but what's special about you? That's what it feels like you're fighting right now. Someone said that there was nothing special about you, or tried to convince you that you couldn't be like another person doing this. But at the end of the day, you can. You have to trust the process, and it's not going to happen quickly. Like, do you really think Warren Buffett became who he was overnight? No, he didn't, right? It took him many, many years of planning and going through a lot and learning a lot. And I'm sure having to overcome his own fears along the journey. And now he's just comfortable where he is at, making the money that he's making, and he's able to make more money on top of that. That's just the example they're showing me here. Yeah, on the bottom, we've got the Page of Wands in the reverse. Okay. So there was someone here that was using you that created a lot of resistance in your life. Like, they benefited from having you around. And so whatever it is that you're choosing to focus on and put your energy and effort towards, whether that's your spiritual journey, learning something, higher education, whatever it is, it could be even traveling, right? They're not going to benefit from having you around the way that you were because your focus is elsewhere. And so there's someone here that tried to convince you that you weren't going to be good enough. And Source is saying you're absolutely good enough. You are, the whole reason I gave you this idea or I gave you this inspiration is because you're the only person who can bring this into fruition. You are the only person that can make this manifest. Are there other people doing the same thing as you? Yes, but you're different than them, and the only you can express it the way that you're going to express it here. This is someone who says that they're a friend, but they're trying to make you take on a lot of responsibilities that aren't yours. And we have family here, so it's a family member. It doesn't have to be. It could be someone you see as family. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, a lot of mind space chatter going on here. Fear of commitment, right? Fear of commitment. And here's what Source is saying, like, looking at the red flags, I feel like this person is really good, or these people, this could be a group of people. Okay, I feel like they're really good at manipulating you. Like, they know exactly how to manipulate you. And what Source is saying is, like, slow down the mind chatter and watch, because this person switches up their tactics on a regular. Okay, they're always they're switching it up, but they do not want you to commit to your higher journey. They do not want you to commit to your spiritual evaluation, evolution. They don't want you to commit because they see your potential. And if they can convince you that you're not enough, or that you're approaching it in an immature way, or that you're choosing to do this in a way that's never going to get you where you want to go. Like, this is the thought process here. Like, if I can convince them, then I'll always have access to them in this way. But it's exhausting. It's getting exhausting for you. I feel like you're hitting a place of burnout, and that's why you're feeling like you can't move on with your spiritual journey. You're actually not burnt out by your spiritual journey. You're burnt out by this person's energy. And so that's a very telltale sign that it's time for you to put up a very solid boundary. Whatever that boundary is, but making sure that it has to do with you taking care of yourself. Like, you know, telling them, I don't have time for this today, or, you know, I really have to focus on my stuff. I have to go. And if they're like, but wait, and be like, no, there is no but wait here. I have to go. So we can maybe pick this up at a different time, or whatever, however you want to say that, right? And that's not you even committing to that. It's just, this is you about committing to your journey. This is about you saying yes to yourself, because there are people who need what you're offering, and there are people who are waiting for you to step up into your light and to your shine. And you're done with this. This is the completion of a cycle in your life that's exhausting, and this person is matched with you. So, like, if they're the shadow and you're the light, like, they're the equal shadow to your light. And so as you continue to develop, this person continues to find creative ways to manipulate. It's because that's the type of person they are. And I'm not here to diagnose anybody. That's not what my job is, okay? This is just an energy showing that this person will always find new ways to manipulate you, because they are so influenced by manipulation. And so they're very creative. They're very clever. And do not ever think that this person is stupid or ignorant. And it's like, they might be ignorant when it comes to spiritual practices, but in the ways of human psychology, in the way of focusing on how to manipulate people, they are not stupid. And that's why it's feeling like evenly matched here, because every time you grow, this person is also, I don't know if you would call that growing, as much as, okay, they're learning. Thank you, Source. They're learning new ways, new tactics that are going to get them exactly what they want. Okay, so this is someone who's very fluid with their energy, and they let circumstances depict how they're going to show up. And they're very intelligent. This is someone who's incredibly intelligent. And so right now, what Source wants you to know is that you're not actually burnt out by your journey. But we're asking you to really take a look at the red flags here. We're asking you to really look at the things that matter the most to you, so that you can really lean into this being a teacher, to being an instructor of some kind, sharing this education, this knowledge you're gaining, right? That's why I'm saying, like, this knowledge, you're earning some kind of knowledge here, but you're afraid to share it, or you're not feeling like you have enough, or feeling like that sense of burnout. But what you have is needed, right? Even if you're only helping one person, isn't that a huge deal? Like, that sometimes we have to look at it like that. As long as I'm helping one person, I'm doing good. It doesn't have to be the whole world. And while some of us want it to be the whole world, of course, but we really have to look at, okay, I'm helping this one person. I'm doing really, really good job here, and not letting my fears, my worries get in the way. There's someone here who's very superficial when it comes to you. Okay, and they have very unstable feelings. And I feel like the thing is here is that you've been very optimistic about this, but you're also wondering, do I have an unrealistic attitude towards this? Is this actually something that I can achieve? And what ends up happening is that person's picking up on that energy and they're exploiting that. Okay. So that's why Source is saying, like, it's important for you to trust the process, but it's also important for you to cut time with this person or to really focus on yourself right now. Okay. So however that plays out for you, it's like, that's the most important thing right now, is to really focus on yourself. You're doing a good job. Okay. This is you having courage in the face of the fear that's present. This is you having courage regardless of how others are showing up, right? And I love this too. It's like taking imperfect action, right? No one's expecting you to be perfect. Even if this person is telling you have to be perfect, or this could be a voice of a person from your past. So this could even be your emotional ego doing this to you as well. It doesn't have to be a person. But this is like the voice that you're hearing all the time is like, you're not perfect enough. You're not enough. Like, you won't be able to do this. And what Source is saying here is like, taking imperfect action is the best possible thing for you right now, because that's how you face your fears. Okay. Putting those imperfect means to good use. You have pure intentions here. Okay, but you are exhausted. And Source, with that at the center of your reading here, Source is acknowledging that very much so, and saying that it's up to you to choose yourself in this situation. Like, Source is not going to come in and wave a hand or wave a wand and take this person away from your life if you're not willing to set the boundaries. If you're willing to set the boundaries, then Source is going to go out of their way to help you with this, okay? But it's like, you got to meet them halfway, right? That's how it works with Source. Like, we have to show Source that I'm serious about taking my self-care into my hands, and I'm going to do what I can. And then Source is going to help you inspire that courage. They're going to help give you inspiration to keep the time with this person down to a minimum. Okay. This is a long battle. This has been something that's been going on for a long time, and you're not sure how it's going to happen or how you're going to overcome it. And right now you need to find people who are for you, okay? People who see what it is that you have to offer. And I feel like the best way to do that is to share your knowledge and to see how you're actually going to be helping people more than you thought. So there's this energy like, oh, I'm not going to help people that much, or, you know, and Source is saying like, yes, you are. So this is definitely for someone who wants to teach something or share their knowledge with someone. Okay, on the bottom, we've got the Earth energy here with Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn with persistence, patience, and practicality. Step by step, inch by inch, okay? My mom always used to say this thing to me growing up, inch by inch, it becomes a cinch, okay? So that's so telling, because I feel like that's something that you need to know, right? Inch by inch, it becomes a cinch. Like, you're making progress. It might not seem like a lot of progress, but it doesn't have to be a lot of progress. No one's expecting you to go from 0 to 5,000 in a day, in a week, in a year, in 5 years, right? All Source has ever asked is that you consistently show up, even if it's 5 minutes today, right? You consistently show up and things will start to fall into place for you. Look at this. We have Medicine Guardian. Be open to healing information. You may be working directly with Archangel Raphael as well. This is the Caduceus. So there's a lot of healing that's coming into you. A lot of heart-centered energy. Also connected with the Wands energy. And so inspiration and passion is what's going to heal you ultimately on this journey. And so I feel like this is telling too, because it's saying your passion and what you put your energy towards is going to be the one thing that helps you heal continuously in regards to this 10 of Swords situation. Okay. Yep. Oh, we've got the Hoard coming out here. Hoard, tell the truth. This is a shadow energy. Okay. So with tell the truth, it's like being honest for yourself, right? It's like, instead of letting this person manipulate you, it's not about arguing with them, right? It's not about like, oh, hey, you're manipulating me. Get out of my face. Or my tarot reader said that you were being crazy. No, let's not do that. Okay, let's not do that. But it's about coming into this place and saying like, look, I know that you want to talk to me about this, but I don't have time. I have other things that I have to take care of. And if they try to play the guilt trip on you, just say, I understand that's how you feel, but that's how you feel. I really have to go. Right? There's nothing rude about that. It might seem rude to them because they're used to getting their way, but it's not rude. Okay, so on the bottom, look, we have Oshun with sweet success. So you telling the truth and you being honest with yourself is what's going to bring in success to your life. Source is saying here, especially with Jupiter coming out in your reading, there is success around the corner for you. All right, so I feel like I'm going to get one of these. And what else, Source? Let's get one more. Okay, or two more. All right, perfect. On the bottom, comply, rules, laws, and unwritten rules. Here's the thing. This person or this energy, this, again, it could be the emotional ego. They want you to comply to what they're saying. So they're going to go out of their way to do everything that they can to make you feel bad, right? So we have letter, note, text message, and invitation coming through as well. So this is about you writing down, like, why does this feel like it has to rule you? So if this is somebody, writing down the question, like, why do I feel like this person has control over me, right? Or why do I feel like this person has power over me? And when you write it down and you see it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, I've been giving this person power, even though, you know, they don't have power over me, but I've been giving power to them. And you're going to be able to draw back from that and allow yourself to bring the power back to you. And that's going to help you out substantially. Okay, so we've got Aradnia and Niece with Aradnia spoken. Your inner servitude is over. Your beliefs and dependence are melting away. I'm awakening the magic that will free you. Know that freedom begins in the thoughts. Tell the truth. All these air energies as well. Gemini is coming out like crazy in here, and that's all about communicating to yourself and being honest with yourself. Right? So right now it's really important for you to be honest with how you feel about this situation with yourself. Not with this person, it's with yourself. So that way when you're honest with yourself, you can show up honestly when it in regards to what this person is feeling. The candle just went out. And on the bottom, we have Kriyas and Bond. Abundance, variety, and happiness are making their way into your life. The time to harvest has arrived. Yeah, this person's not going to stop you from harvesting what is yours. I mean, you've got success and you've got abundance coming out together, connecting with the flame inside as well. This is all about connecting with your Manipura chakra, the solar plexus. Okay. So really embracing that fire in life, that inspiration, not letting the flame go out, right? Just because someone can't see your worth. That's their problem. That's not yours. We've got House 12 again. Spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. So healing is coming. Okay? Healing is coming. You're facing karmic issues within your own energy. You're letting go of the past. You're allowing yourself to heal here. Wow, we've got House 8, transformation, karma again, facing fears. I cannot make this up. And legacies. So this is all about you facing the fears that you have. You know what? Hands shaking, right? Palms sweaty, knees buckling. It is okay for you to say no. And it's gonna feel like that at first. And you're like, all these emotions, all this feeling, this is telling me that I shouldn't be doing this. But I tell you what, you're gonna feel so empowered after the first time you do it. And it's gonna be easier the next time. Snake, shed the old skin, letting go of the old, right? You're shedding the skin, you're shedding these fears, you're shedding this karma and healing from that. We have sunset, decline, fade, and aging. And this feels like the snake energy too. It's like, this is the old, right? It's old. It's outdated. It doesn't belong in your energy any longer. Even this person, they don't belong in your energy any longer. But the first thing that happens for us to remove old energies is that we have to take action towards a new way of being. Give up the previous plan, release old patterns, embrace change, clear the way for renewal. Look, I can't make this energy up. It is very clear what Source's prep talk is for you. Ignore, focus, detox, and overlook. It is important for you to ignore this person at this time, or even ignore this part of your emotional ego, right? Like sometimes we have to ignore it because it's so loud. We can't even begin to heal it because it's so loud that even when we try to focus on it for healing, we get stuck in the rabbit hole. So it's time for you to ignore this person, focus on detox, okay? And focus on facing your fears. You have success coming your way, right? There's no reason for you to give up 3 feet shy of your gold. Let's take a look at your card. Look at this. 44, visions of life beyond death. You're building stability. You have so much going for you. Not only is prosperity coming in, but knowledge from sources coming in, spiritual growth, spiritual abundance. Like we have sacred vision is awakening within you. You're becoming blessed with the ability to truly see, to see what is real rather than what appears to be. This is true insight. What once was considered inconsequential may soon be found to hold little consequence after all. What was once dismissed as an irritation or irrelevance may be seen to have great spiritual significance. As mundane as something once appeared to be, it can now be worthy of absolute attention. The gift of genuine vision takes you into the being of the universal creator. This is a sacred terrain, beyond logic, convention, and that which is limited in any way. The more you open to receiving true vision, the more love you will feel and recognize within and around you. Something may appear to change form, to be shed, to be lost, or to die, but there is love within it always. This realization doesn't remove the pain of the loss. It does provide a way through which it can be healed and eventually transformed into peace. The vision of love, the truth of all that is, can move us more than anything else possibly can. If you've been wondering about your life path or whether you should take action on a project or you need inspiration to really move out of a slump you've fallen into, this oracle brings you a message of hope. You will receive your vision. You will be graced with a way out of stagnancy, and you will be able to see things differently and more accurately. Any confusion or uncertainty you have felt is going to pass, and you will be left with clear insight. The stories you have been feeding yourself or telling yourself may end up looking different to how they appear now. This may surprise you, but the vision that is coming to you will be more truthful and therefore freeing. It will be worth the shock, surprise, or the moment of embarrassment when you realize you've been operating under a false assurance or deluding yourself about the truth of a situation. Those moments will pass, and they are not something to feel bad about. They signify that you are leaving behind a smaller view for a far more expansive one. They are a sign that you have outgrown your old vision in order to live in a bigger one. This is good. There might be a moment when your ego feels a bit dented, but sure enough, that too will pass. I love this. I love this so much. So there's a lot happening for you. Source is trying to bring you into this spiritual connection, really growing. Like there's something here that's very spiritual with both house 12 and house 8 coming out for you. It's like this is a part of your spiritual ascension. So you have a lot of spiritual ascension symptoms going on, which is the exhaustion. But a lot of the exhaustion is coming from letting go of those outdated beliefs that are no longer serving you. Don't be afraid to shed that skin, okay? Wow, this was such a powerful reading in such a short time. So if you felt like this was your reading, leave the little owl emoji down below and say, trust the divine guidance of Source's plan for my life and for my ascension and for my spiritual growth. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member of the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this dice with the moon on it, Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on your pep talk from the universe, source, God, whatever it is that you call it. The sun is coming in right now. So, yeah. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for anybody new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, what is pile number 2's pep talk from you today, Source? What would you like them to know? What messages do you have for them? What is pile number 2's pep talk from you today, Source? What would you like them to know? Okay. Before we get into it, I did have a channeled message, and I was just reminded of that. There's something very powerful about a connection with Merlin here for pile number 2. Merlin kept popping up while I was prepping for your reading, and I totally just spaced it out until I was shaking the dice right now. It came through again. But yeah, there's something incredibly powerful about Merlin with cosmic knowledge, with this ability to connect to the magic around you. And also just, I feel like Merlin is one of your, like, I call him the round table. And what I mean by that is like your spiritual group that helps you through this life. And I feel like Merlin is like one of your go-to spirits or deities or whatever you would like to call him. I mean, he's a wizard. But I feel like he's like your go-to for advice or for help. Or if you don't know anything about that, like Merlin is absolutely helping you. And in a way for you to know this is that your journey has consisted of always asking yourself questions, and instead of answers, you get more questions to the original questions, but somehow that link of questions, so it's like you'll have like 10 or 12 different questions that come up, and all those questions end up giving you an understanding of what your original question was. Okay, so that's a good way to tell that Merlin's working with you. Okay, so I hope that made sense, but it's very powerful energy coming in already on your reading, and Source wanted to clarify that. Okay, so we've got the 7th house, we've got Taurus energy and Venus. Interesting. Very loving energy coming in here. You could be wanting to manifest a relationship here, or a partnership, or soul tribe. But I also love this connection of these dice here, because we're talking about your self-worth, your value, and how you feel about yourself, and becoming incredibly magnetic, right? So there's something that's happening in your life right now where you're becoming extremely magnetic. You are changing and shifting, and there are a lot of people who are going to want to connect with you. There are going to be a lot of people that are coming in. And it's up to you to use your discernment to know whether or not these people are aligned with you on the journey, right? No one's ever going to be perfect. And we can't hold people up to perfect standards, because we don't want to be held up to perfect standards ourselves, knowing that we're not perfect, right? And we don't want to hold ourselves up to those perfect standards either. But I feel like with this combination of dice, it's just reminding you that there are loyal people about to come into your life. People who want you to succeed. People who want you to flourish. People who want you to grow, and who are going to be cheering you on. And they're going to be very vital connections for you as well. Right? So this could be a higher love connection. This could be a partnership, a friendship, a business contract. This could be also if you've been dealing with a lawsuit. This is a very specific message, but if you've been dealing with a lawsuit, this is telling me that things are going to go in your favor. You might not get exactly what you wanted, but it's going to be in your favor, and you're going to be happy with the outcome. Okay? This is also showing that you have been proving how trustworthy you are and how tenacious you are on your journey. And Source wants to reward your endurance. So there's a lot of safety and security that's coming in here. A lot of beauty and luxury in your life. So you're going to be enjoying a lot more things in your life as well. Feeling like you have a lot more free time. Feeling like you have a lot more freedom in life. Yeah, so I feel like you're going to start getting surrounded by a lot of people. And your finances are growing as well. So you're going to see a lot with your finances coming in and just the finer things in life. So you might be able to start taking yourself out more than you have before, buying the nice things that you want, or really treating yourself. And Source is saying, do that. Like, trust that right now you're stable enough to do that. Like, don't fear not having enough money, because it's that exact same fear that actually starts to repel it from our energy. And so Source is saying, like, obviously don't make yourself destitute, right? But don't be afraid to do something nice for yourself. Don't be afraid to treat yourself at this time. And that's going to make you feel good, right? Like, that always makes me feel good. So how you feel right now is of importance. And making sure that you're taking care of yourself, prioritizing your self-care. You know, if you want to go and get your hair done, your nails done, get your toes done, you know, get a wax, or to get like a chiropractic appointment, a massage, to go to a spa experience, to go to the beach, to go on that day trip, to go on that staycation, or to, you know, go and take yourself out to the movies or to a nice dinner. These are things like Source is encouraging you to do at this time, because the better you feel, the easier it's going to be for you to manifest, okay? So what is a pep talk from you, Source, that you would like to give to pile number 2? Okay. What is a pep talk for pile number 2, Source? Whoa, that one. Thank you. Thank you. What is the pep talk for pep talk for pile number 2? I feel like you're struggling to speak what you want to speak about right now. Yeah, okay. So I just had these cards flip out. We've got the House of God in the reverse. Yeah, so there's something here where it's like you want to do something, or you want to treat yourself, or you want to ask for something. So you're asking in regards to a relationship, but there's also a fear that's tied with that. And it's like almost like getting tongue-tied. Like, I don't know if I should ask for that, because maybe you'd have to give up on an idea of something else, or something your emotional ego is tied to, something that feels like, I don't want to face this reality that maybe I'm not going to get what I wanted to, essentially, right? Like what I first wanted. But there's something else that has my attention, and I want to ask for it, but I also don't want to seem ungrateful for having asked originally for whatever this was. So say you originally asked for a nice ride, and you were like, hey, cool, I want a Honda. It gets good gas mileage. You know, they can always drive up a whole bunch of miles, and it's going to last me for forever. And that was like your go-to manifestation. This is just an example, okay? And then lo and behold, all of a sudden you get a huge bonus, and you're like, wow, like I can buy this Honda like 3 times over with this bonus. Just an example. And you decide like, wow, I've always wanted a Porsche, and I'm scared to ask for a Porsche now because I don't want to be ungrateful for asking Source for the Honda. And Source is saying, like, don't be afraid to ask for something new, because your taste and it's going to change along with your growth. Like, you're not going to stay the same, and it's okay to ask for things that are different and not feel like what you asked for before that you're being ungrateful for. You're not. You're just learning more about yourself. And so this really feels like you're changing, like something about you is changing, or your focus is shifting to something else. And Source is saying, like, it's not a bad thing. Right? It's not a bad thing, but it's feeling like a bad thing, and it's feeling like you're almost like resistant to the change, or you're in this place of where it's like, well, you know, am I being resistant to the possibility of success because I want to switch something, or because I want to focus on something else? And Source is saying, like, don't get into that energy, because that energy in and of itself will start making you feel confused and indecisive. And this journey is all about making decisions and trusting that those decisions are for our highest good, trusting our intuition, right? I would say the only bad decision is no decision, but that's still a decision, right? Indecision is still a decision. So not doing anything is still an action. So remember that, okay? And trust that you can make good decisions, strong decisions. Okay, yeah, so we've got the Temperance in the reverse. There's a fear of this coming in and healing you, but there's hope right around the corner for you. You've been dealing with a lot. Okay, this is what Source is saying here, especially with the House of God and Temperance coming out right next to each other, and then the star underneath here. You've been dealing with a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and that's why I feel like you don't want to come across as like, I'm not grateful for things. I'm not, you know, I want Source to know, I want the universe or God or whatever. I want them to know that like I'm doing the best that I can. But there's like this energy of going back and forth and feeling like you're not making any progress. Like, am I actually going to have success here? So if this is asking for a specific type of relationship or like soul tribe to come in, but then maybe you're making an effort with people who you feel like fit that description, and it's like going back and forth, like Source is saying like, make a decision. Make a decision, because working with indecision, you're going to get things that are going to make you even more confused. That's how manifestation works. And so Source is really saying, make a decision here and stand by your decision. Right? If you need guidance, Source is on standby for you. Your team of spirit guides are on standby for you to help you make the most aligned decision for yourself. But being open to receiving that guidance is going to be the best thing for you here. Okay, it feels like you're losing patience with something that's taking forever. It does feel like that, okay? But there's also this fear, like, I don't know, I feel like I've changed, and I feel that energy. It's like, I feel like I've changed, and I feel like it has to do with a relationship or a connection in your life. And also because of this, you're ending up pushing away others who might be coming in to help you. So being open is the big thing here. Yeah, so this feels like something is falling apart that used to feel secure. Something is falling apart. Wow, you've got some big hitters today. Judgment in the reverse. Yes, I am so glad that the Chariot came out in this position for you right at the center. This is exactly what I was saying. Like, yes, it's not the Lover card, but it's talking about your spiritual victory comes from facing both the light and the dark attributes of yourself. You're dealing with a lot of indecision because it's part of a generational curse. It's part of familial, you know, like your family maybe has dealt with a lot of indecision in the past. And maybe they seem like they're very sure of what they're asking for, what they're wanting, but there's been a lot of back and forth between that. Okay? And there's also something here that's coming out where it's like someone is sharing something that you didn't want them to share, or, you know, maybe you're sharing something that someone else didn't want you to share. And that could be about your experience, and that's really bothering someone else. And starts saying like, whatever the situation is, and especially with relationships here, this could be you sharing with others, like, how maybe you were abused by family, or how your family was so indifferent with you, or how your family didn't love you the way that you deserved. And that's making them feel very uncomfortable. But there's still this uncertainty here. Like, am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to share my story? Is it okay for me to make a change? Is it okay for me to make a shift? There's a lot of energies flying in, especially with all these heavy hitters. I mean, we've got a 3-card spread, and including the bottom of the deck, you got all mystery cards. Like, this is not one of those things that Source is like, oh, let's just kind of clarify something. This is like a big deal in your life right now. This is something that's huge that's happening in your life currently. And it's difficult because it's like, what do I do? And so Source is saying right now, the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is to be determined and knowing that you will overcome this, but making a decision for yourself, not other people, not how other people are showing up, not in the problems that you have with your connections in your life right now, not facing on the noise and the drama. There's a lot of people trying to get you to get involved in what they've got going on, the things that they think are so massive. You know, that's the other thing. You ever have people who have everybody else's drama is the worst thing in the world that could be happening to them, but it has nothing to do with them? This is what I feel like this person is, or this energy that's in your life right now. It's like they're trying to make their non-problems your problem. Yeah, okay. And that's what Source is saying. Like, don't let people's drama and noise affect you from focusing on your journey. Okay, you've got something huge to accomplish here, and there's a lot of people making a lot of noise around you. And that partially is because you're glowing up, and you're glowing up into this place. It's like, these are people who see you glowing up, and they just want to make you jealous, or they want to make you feel like you are insignificant, or they want to make you feel like you don't matter. But the truth is nothing this person does can ever make that be so, because you're glowing up without even trying. Okay, so keep glowing up. Yeah, I just feel like this is someone, and I also feel like someone's passing on information about you that they shouldn't be passing on about you, or they're making up stories about you. So there's a gossip here. There's someone here's a gossip, and I feel like your intuition is like warning you of the red flag, like, oh, red flag, red flag, red flag, and you're like, no, that's a red flag, but you're still also questioning it. And that's another reason that make a decision. Make a decision that serves your highest good here, okay? You're going to have victory here. You're moving into power and high status. Public honor is coming into your life, okay? You're moving forward, and you're in a protected position. Okay, you're very strong here. You don't have to worry about where another person's coming from. You don't have to worry about what they're doing. The only thing you have to concern yourself with is making a decision for yourself. And Source is saying, I'm standby. I'm on standby. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call, which is essentially saying a prayer. Right? Spending time in silence, asking for what you want. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. I'm also getting that, like, if you want to switch what you're asking for, that's okay. Independence, bravery, and passion flying out with Aries here. Okay, so you could be dealing with an Aries, a Scorpio, a Sagittarius, an Aquarius, a Cancer, a Taurus, or Libra. You could have those signs highly aspect in your chart. Aries in the 7th house, Sagittarius in the 9th house and the 12th house, Mercury in the 10th house. I don't know why that's coming through, but we're just going to go with it. Yeah. So, or we have Mercury, Cancer and Mercury. Okay, sure. So, we're just going to go with it. I'm just hearing these things coming through. So, okay, it's that one. Thank you, Source. On the bottom, we've got House 2, physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. You are protected. Okay, your self-worth is growing right now. Trust in that process. Also, you could have North Node in Taurus and South Node in Scorpio. You could also have Venus in Taurus. You could have the 2nd house in Taurus. There's a lot of home placement Taurus placements here. Okay, so Taurus signs, especially this message, okay? All right, let's get some more here and see what else comes through. If I can pick up the deck. All right, Source, what is the pep talk that you have for my fellow humans for pile number 2? Okay, you're going to get 2 of those. On the bottom, we've got Sky Father, trust in the unknown. And I feel like this is so telling, like what Source is saying, like, I'm right here. All you got to do is ask, and I'm going to come rushing in and help you find an answer to what you need. Seeing things from a higher perspective, trusting in this process, trusting in that things are working out for your highest good, okay? Your inner strength is much, much stronger than you're giving it credit for. All right, Source, what else would you like to share with pile number 2 here? What else would you like to share with pile number 2, Source? Okay, thank you. On the bottom, yes! Merlin! I said that at the beginning. We've got Merlin with cosmic knowledge coming in here. So again, that's why I was feeling this so strong when we first started. Like so strong. And I'm so glad that it came out. Like I saw this picture and everything. So strong. You could be starting something with Zodiac as well. And I also heard runic studies. So I'm not sure what that means. I hope that maybe you will. But let's see what else comes through for you, pile number 2. What else would you like to say here, Source? Okay. We have Aurora and Maxia Lu with your true power is in the light of your own magic. Remember that you are a powerful, magical creature. And wasn't I just saying, like, your inner strength is so much more powerful than you're giving it credit for? So again, this confirmation coming through. We've got Mars and Charitas. Understand that nothing is wholly good or evil, and that even the strongest poison can heal in the right dose. Okay, so this is just saying, like, even if this is a person who's trying to hurt you or harm you, that ultimately the only thing that matters is how you show up, right? They're not wholly good. They're not wholly evil. Just like we're not wholly good and we're not wholly evil, right? Everybody has a part of the darkness and everybody has a part of the light. It's the yin and yang. That's what exists within us all. And so instead of focusing on the fact that this person's doing this to you or has this energy around you or whatever it is, just trust the fact that this is part of your healing process. and letting it go and focusing on yourself and making a decision for your highest good. So I do feel like there's a struggle here for you to draw away from this energy. We had the Father card fly out of the deck. So this could be a father figure with the Judgment card coming through here. Production, hunting, protection, and teaching. Source reiterating that you are incredibly protected. But this could be a father that's creating all this chaos, or someone that you look up to like a father. At one point you had looked up to like a father. And it's just really hard to see something like that. This person who's supposed to be protecting you, or this energy that's supposed to be protecting you. And we got Sky Father coming out too on the bottom. And I feel like that's another reiteration to trust in Source, to trust that Source is going to protect you from any harm. We have Delivery on the bottom here with transportation, inheritance, and escort. Yeah, so there's something that's coming in for you. You're going to be moving soon too. There could be like traveling to a different place, moving away from where you're at currently. Is that everything? Okay. And Source is saying like you are protected. There's no need to worry about what's next, but making a decision is the best possible thing for you. It keeps coming to that. We've got House 4, cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. So again, the family member that was coming in. Did we not get the family card? I thought we did in this deck. Maybe I just felt it. That was what I was feeling. So it could be, and with, oh, the Judgment, that was what it was. The Judgment card. So the family member, right, again, could be the father. It doesn't have to be, but you've got the star and the moon together as well. There's something that you're not seeing here, and to remain hopeful about the situation moving forward, okay? And only you can do that, right? Like, Source can tell you and give you signs and synchronicities, but if you choose to stay in a low vibration, like that's going to disconnect you from your answers, and that's going to disconnect you from your guidance. So you have to choose to raise your vibration up and choose to stay in that hopeful position and to know that things are going to work out for you. Okay. And that some things that are coming to you, you're not meant to know about, because Source does like a surprise. We've got She-Wolf. Unleash the wild within. Let yourself be seen. Oracle, wait for important information. I feel like this is just confirmation that you're an incredibly intuitive person, and that's why it's so vital for you to trust your intuition right now. You questioning your intuition is like you basically saying, I don't have gifts, and that's so untrue. Like, you do have gifts. And the more that you trust that intuitive notion that's coming in, or that guidance that you're receiving, the more you let yourself shine. Okay? Look at this. Lilith, face your shadow. This isn't about facing someone else's shadow. This is about you facing your shadow. Okay? Facing the darkness within. Why am I putting all of my problems on this other person? Or why am I saying that this other person is the only reason that I'm unsuccessful? Or why is it this person has all of my attention and they're my problem instead of me focusing on myself? And I feel like that's where they're coming down to. Make a decision. Do you want to have all your attention on this person and what they're doing? Or do you want to have all your attention on your gifts, on your journey, and on your projects and creative endeavors moving forward? And only you can make that decision. Look, we've got reject, negation, never, forbid, and taboo. Yeah, there's something really difficult about this situation, and Source is acknowledging that. Especially if this is a family member who doesn't see your potential, or doesn't encourage you, or isn't standing behind you and is causing drama in your life. That's a really difficult, but you have to understand too that the more that you are growing and glowing, the more that this person is projecting out into the world because they feel insignificant compared to you. Is that right? It doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just simply their choice that they've made. So that could be the other reason why choices are coming in. Make a decision, make a decision. This person's made a decision to act in this way, and there's no control over it. We can't control how this person is showing up. But Source says, I can control how you choose to show up for yourself and how I meet you halfway there, right? Painting, telling a story. Yes, this goes back to what I was feeling earlier. You're telling something, you're sharing something about what you've experienced. Conveying emotion, decorating, and shaping. So I do feel like this, even though it feels like a very specific message, there's a huge group of individuals here who are sharing their story, and that may have to do with a father that rejected you, or a family member that rejected you, and you're sharing what you went through, and that's part of you embracing your shadow And now this person is trying to create a lot of drama with you because of that. Source is saying not to worry about that because you're calling in family. You're calling in higher vibrational connections here. Let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book and we'll see what we've got. Wow. She feels she knows. Number 22. Every time this card comes out, and this is a trigger. Okay. So trigger alert, I'm just saying it before I get into it, but this card always makes me feel like there's been severe abuse in the situation. Okay, like this card, look at her eye, like this is not a pretty, she looks absolutely melancholy here, sad, and just so disconnected from the world, right? This is all about trusting that inner feeling. Like there's something about someone here who's trying to pull the wool over your eyes and they can't do it anymore. And trusting what you're getting. And that's why I was saying trusting your intuition is so vital right now, because there's someone here who thinks they've won one over on you and they want to go back to the way they were treating you before. And that's not going to happen because you're already aware of the process, but you have to trust yourself and make a decision based on that trust for self. Okay, it says an illumination is erupting from within you as a vision that is bringing what was once obscured into clarity. This is not likely to happen as a blinding, shocking insight, but as more of a softer, gentler knowing. It is like knowing something without understanding exactly when or how you came to know it. This insight will assist you and you are asked to honor it. You will know which insight it is at the right time. Your heart will tell you. You are therefore being asked to rely upon the clarity that is coming to you now, or has just recently come, trusting your intuition. Gently but firmly from that place of knowing, intend to act and take your next steps forward. This oracle comes to you with guidance, particularly about a long-range or long-term development, something that is far bigger than the immediate situation, issue, or moment is of importance. Although you will only have a dim sense of that possibility at best, the situation you find yourself in right now may not be one of joy, but in time you will understand more of the bigger picture. You will come to see why things are happening as they are and how you're being helped on to the next stage of your path, even though it may look like an obstacle right now. You're being asked to think in terms of long-term happiness. Sometimes this warrants change or even temporary restrictions in the short term. That's why I was saying, like, there's something here you want to change the way you ask for something, and they're saying that's okay. If you can't see how the present can possibly become what you sense the future to be, this message is especially relevant. Through the natural process of transformation, great leaps are indeed possible. You simply must be prepared to surrender into that process with absolute trust. The situations in your current life are particularly geared towards a more significant manifestation that is coming to you according to your life path and purpose. This is a stage of preparation and of building a foundation that will hold you strong and centered as your creative journey unfolds and your life path becomes ever more brilliant and luminous. So keep plugging away, remain patient, and I can't make this up, but above all, be hopeful and trust in the light you sense ahead of you, for it is the light that is within you, simply revealed more fully. All that is happening now is happening to that end. Okay, so there is good things happening here. Your pile number 2, you got 22. 222 is all about trusting the process. This is such a powerful, powerful message. I'm so sorry to hear that you've been going through something so difficult. And here's a big, big, big energetic hug, pile number 2. You're not alone. Okay, you're not alone. And if you felt like this was your reading, leave a little peacock emoji down below and just say pile 2, you're not alone. Because I feel like you guys need to know that you're not the only ones that are experiencing this, or just leave the peacock below so you claim this reading, okay? And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It'll show you how to reach me for a personal reading as well as how to join as a member on the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you chose this beautiful piece of amethyst. Or if you chose this dice with Venus on it, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on your pep talk from the universe. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for anybody that is new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop to it. I did have a quick channel message for you. There's something about an eagle that keeps coming in for you. That was all they said. It's just an eagle. Obviously, eagles to me, they are seen as seeing from a much higher perspective, connecting with the divine. They fly the highest out of all the birds, and they're like an apex predator of the sky as well. And, you know, they're revered and feared and just an incredible, graceful creature. And so for you, there was just the eagle that came through for you. So that might have very significant meaning for you, okay? So Source, what is the pep talk that you have today for pile number 3? What would you like them to know? Source, what is the pep talk that you have today for pile number 3? What would you like them to know? All right, so we've got Mars, the 12th house, and Capricorn energy. You've come a long way. You've done a lot of learning. You have explored different avenues, and you've taken action on things that you didn't know you could take action on. And you really have overcome so many different things. And I feel like here you're facing a lot of the grief that you've had in your life. For you, it's not really about the fear. For you, pile 3, this is about grief. Okay? This is about extreme loss, feeling imprisoned by your grief, feeling imprisoned by your hurt and your pain, the sorrow that you've experienced in this life. Feeling like that was going to be the only thing that you would ever experience in this life was hardships, and not knowing how to get beyond that, not knowing how to overcome that. And yet you've done that. You've done the work. I mean, especially with Capricorn energy here, we see that you have absolutely put forth a massive effort, and you've done so much on your journey, and you're very dedicated and determined and disciplined. And with Mars, you took action when action was necessary. Right? And that's not easy to do, and especially when grief is what's ruling you, or when grief is what's been all you can think about for so long. We see that there's a lot of healing coming in here. We see that there's a lot of shift happening here. Okay? You are overcoming barriers and blockages, things that maybe you didn't know were blocks on your life. Like, you know, this could have been grief about money. It could have been grief about self. It could have been grief about past people in your life. We're not necessarily talking about grief over death, but it can be. Okay, it can be. But just know that it could be grief of many, many things here. This is like, it feels like every time that you tried to do something good, it was like there was always something that was arising that would push you back or hold you in place or make it stagnant, or people who discouraged you, or people who made you feel really bad about yourself. It's like there's a lot of grief that has to do with circumstances that feel like they're outside of your control, right? And that's what this feels like. And we see here that you've been very persistent in your healing journey, and really honoring, like, what are my self-limiting beliefs, and where am I rigid on my journey, and what's holding me back on my journey. So now it's making sense as to why the eagle is coming in, because it's like these are things, especially with the 12th house and Capricorn together. Capricorns, when they're in their shadow, are the pessimists of the zodiac. Like, there is no one that will be a more Debbie Downer than a Capricorn. Okay, and like, no beef against any Capricorn here. I've got Capricorn in my chart too, and it's like, but it's like when a Capricorn is in their shadow, they're just a negative Nelly. Like, everybody is just the worst, and no one can overcome that. And so that's what it feels like here. So with the 12th house and the Capricorn energy coming up, we see that this was like one of your most difficult the most difficult part of your journey to overcome was the grief that was weighing on your heart. But with Mars energy here, it's like something inspired you to take action towards overcoming that and getting through that. And we see that it's actually become a bit of a passion for you. So there's like shadow work could be passion for you. Dealing with grief could be passion for you. Helping others overcome grief could be the passion. But we see that it is turning into a passion for you. And it's actually giving you a lot of drive. And so you're gaining a lot of clarity through this journey by dealing with your own grief. Seeing it from a higher perspective and not letting it be the anchor in your journey. So Source, what is the pep talk that you have for pile number 3 today? What would you like to share with them today? What is the pep talk you have for pile number 3, Source? What is the pep talk you have today for pile number 3, Source? What is the pep talk you have today for pile number 3, Source? What would you like to share? Okay, thank you. What is the pep talk you have for pile number 3? Yeah, setting emotional boundaries, being clear with yourself too. Like, is this me being sad, or is this me being, you know, throwing a pity party for myself? Right? Because it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to have grief, and it's okay to be in that grief. But for, you know, and Pisces totally understand this, there's definitely a difference from feeling the sadness and the depression and letting it become who you are, and wanting everyone to feel sorry for you, and wanting even like Source to feel sorry for you, wanting everybody around you to feel sorry for you, and feeling like you can't empower yourself. So with the 5 of Swords coming up, it's like there's been a lot of outside circumstances at play, a lot of negative energy that's been at play in your life. But I do feel like it's other people. You've been around people who don't have positive mindsets, and to grow out of a circumstance like that, like, that's powerful. No wonder you've been surrounded by grief, because you're grieving like, why am I so different from these people? Why do I have a smile on my face and they can't even bring themselves a smile? When they smile, it just looks like they're grimacing. Like, what is going on here, right? But it's like, you can't control the way people are showing up, but of course you're going to grieve over that, because maybe a part of you felt like you had to be a people pleaser here. Maybe a part of you felt like you had to lift them up, or you had to be their support, their rock. And I feel like you're grieving a part of yourself that's like realizing you're not that person. Yeah, we have the Page of Coins on the bottom. You're learning how to give yourself that time and that attention. You're learning how to give yourself the energy that you need. And that's a very powerful place to come from. What do we have under here? We have the 8 of Coins in the reverse. When you're obviously seeing a lot of people who don't want to put forth the effort. Like, you go from the Page of Coins to the King of Coins. Now you're becoming very comfortable in dealing with and working with the shadow and working with grief. You could be a medium. You could have mediumship abilities. You could work with people who are dealing with death, like be a grief counselor, right? You could be a grief coach. There's this energy where it's like you're helping others deal with a deep part of their own grief. You could even be a tarot card reader and helping people deal with grief in that way and healing through that way, right? So whatever it is, but it does feel like you're helping people deal with grief. You could help people with shadow work. You could help people dealing with loss, you know, and it doesn't just have to be death. It could just be loss in general. Right? Loss of love, loss of property, loss of home, loss of job. Like, this is something that feels like you're helping them get over a part of their like grief that becomes, it keeps us stagnant, right? It becomes such a weight and an anchor on our journey, and you're helping them overcome that. Just a second, Zoe. 1 second. My apologies. I had blocked my dog's water and she was telling me. So this is that, yeah, like you're giving them sustenance, right? You're helping to cleanse their soul. And it's something that there's people around you who they just don't want to work on their own grief. They don't want to work on their own sorrow. They don't want to work on their own shadow. And I feel like this is something that weighs on you heavily, because it's like, why am I so different from you? But that's also the blessing that you're so different from that, because you know what it is to be ruled by that hurt and that pain and that sorrow. Yeah, the Sun in the reverse. Interesting. It's very much clarifying what I've been feeling. And the Three of Swords in the reverse. Okay. So you're growing. All right. And whoever this is, this could be a father. This could be a sibling. This could be friends. It could be family. It could be anybody that's around you. Somebody who's in a very immature mindset about life. Like, this is just how it's always been for them. They don't want to shift their energy. They don't want to shift how they are looking at life, and they're okay with that. And it's like, I feel like you've done a lot to help this person or these people grow. And I feel like at times, even at the cost of your own energy and at the cost of your own self-care and putting yourself on the back burner, and this person or these people still keep showing up in this negative mindset. And it's very suffocating, right? It's incredibly suffocating and it's overwhelming. And it feels like every time you feel like you're taking a step forward, then all of a sudden it's like they show you that no, they've never taken a step forward, or they've even gone backwards. Right? So they're just very, very grounded in feeling sorry for themselves, or in embracing this negative side of themselves. And for you, it's sad. It's like overwhelming. It's like, why can't you just grow? Or like, why can't you just be the more aligned version of yourself? And what Source is saying is like, don't worry about that. They actually helped give you fuel to help inspire other people who want to hear what you have to say. Not everybody wants to hear what we have to say. We're not going to be for everybody. And sometimes we're not even going to be for the people who are closest to us. And that's so unfortunate, because we have this energy where it's like we love them so much, right? And we want to see them do good, right? We want to see them become better. And this could actually be from loss of like an absent father in your life as well, with the Sun in the reverse. Okay, but here's this immaturity coming through where it's like they depend on you to feel better about themselves, because they don't want to feel better about themselves. They don't want to feel good about their lives. They don't want to deal with their own loss. They don't want to deal with their own sorrow. They have become identified with what they've experienced in life. They see it as it happened to me, not as it happened for me. And so because it's happened to them and they view it in this way, they literally believe that they are the whole of all their experiences, rather than seeing their gifts and their light. And it's like, I feel like Source is just encouraging you to not get so stuck on trying to lift someone up here who doesn't want your help. You know, and that can be hard, especially when you love this person or when you care about this person, pile 3. And Source is saying, like, it's okay for you to let go and just let them flounder. That's not you not caring about this person. That's literally saying, I did the best that I could, and I can't be pulled down with you by your anchor. I can't, right? And so there's like something here, and it's like they feel very uncomfortable because your energy is very intense, and it's like they don't feel comfortable with you around. They don't feel comfortable being with you when you're in your growing phase. They don't feel comfortable, and so they try to diminish your light, because when they're diminishing your light, that makes them feel more comfortable. That makes them feel more grounded. And it's like you're already making them switch and change just by you being yourself, just by you choosing to stand in this light. And that's uncomfortable for them, okay? But you've done something very practical here. And you have untapped potentials that are within your reach, okay? You're going to see success right away. You're starting this new venture. It's like whatever it has to do here, it's definitely something that has to do with grief or loss, or, you know, whatever 12th house, spirituality, karma, anything along those lines. It could be working in a medical institution, a hospice. This could be working with a mental health. This could be working in a retirement home, something like that. But it's like you're gonna see immediate success at the beginning, and this is gonna give you a solid foundation for you to keep going. And so Source is saying, like, don't focus on the negative side here. Don't even focus on the people who are negative in your energy, who are trying to deter you from doing this. Most of the time, people are just trying to deter you because they're experiencing their own sense of failure, or because they're trying to project that onto you. It's like, how could pile 3 ever be successful when I was never successful in life? So it's definitely a projection of their own failures or their own shortcomings, and they want you to feel bad about it, okay? They don't want you to be able to move forward. They want to try to keep you in this place of feeling stuck, or feeling like you're stuck in a box, or even indecisive or hemmed in. Because if you're hemmed in, then you become indecisive and you're unable to make a move forward. And that's exactly what they're trying to play at here. Okay? This is someone who's stubborn, and this is someone who likes to oppress people because they have had failed situations in their own life. So if I can oppress other people, if I can make them feel like they're not going to succeed, then I've somehow won. And we know that that's not really how that works, right? Like, we understand that's not how this works at all. Like, that just creates more karma, that just creates more baggage, that just creates more uncomfortable situations for people. But that's really where this person is at right now. And so Source is just saying, like, don't focus on that. Focus on taking that first step forward into this dream or this idea that you have, because you're going to see immediate success. And success not necessarily being monetary success, but this could be success at feeling good, realizing this is a true passion for you, seeing that this is something that you've been meant to do all along, whatever it is. But this is Source saying, take that step forward, because very quickly you're going to move from this this Page of Coins to this King of Coins, which is boss energy, being very stable and secure in yourself, okay? And Source is saying, like, there's going to be people here who try to conform you to this construct of life. They want you to fall back into the old ways because they don't want you to make money, or they don't want you to succeed on something that's unconventional, because they themselves have failed at things that have been unconventional, and they don't like to see other people succeed at unconventional things. And so this is very much someone projecting onto you their own fears and insecurities. And Source is saying it's okay for you right now to turn your cheek. Seeing this from a higher perspective, right? Understanding that this person's hurt and they want to hurt people so that they don't feel so alone. Is that right or wrong? It's not for me to say. It's just simply where this person's coming from, and that's what they feel like they have to do. And so in order for you to see beyond that, it's not about focusing on whether this person's right. It's not even about validating the fact that you think this person's wrong or right. It's about validating yourself in this process and saying, I deserve to be seen, and I deserve to go towards what I want to go towards, even if it's unconventional and even if other people don't agree with it. That's what seeing this from a higher perspective is going to mean for you, okay? So let's see what comes through with the tarot, or with the oracle. I feel like this is hard for you to express what you want to do. Like, this is something that's hard for you to express, because I keep tripping over my words. And it's like, when people ask you, what do you do? It's like, I don't know how I'm going to explain to people what I do. Don't worry about it. Square. Yeah, it's a challenging situation and a mountain to climb. Right? They're there to help you love yourself. That's what's going on right now. There's a lot of people who come into our lives and they teach us a lot of different things, but honestly, the most difficult situations come into our lives to teach us how to love ourselves. And we also teach them something. We teach them how to love and have empathy for others. Whether they're going to believe in that or exude that right now and express that now, that's not for us to decide. They have to make that decision on their own. Some people will and some people won't. But right now, what your job is to focus on self-love and to focus on self-care and to focus on walking towards that potential that lies within you. There's something here that's passion, that you have a passion for, and that you're working hard for, because you've worked so hard on clearing out your karma and facing your fears and letting go and focusing really on your mental and emotional health here. Don't let someone else who's got in their heads, or who is in their heads about their own failures, put you back 10 steps because of how far you've come. We have Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. And this is interesting because what we see within others exists within ourselves. Okay, and that's true of people who see us and true of us when we see other people. And it doesn't matter who we run into. That is a potential that could exist within us. right? So how this person is showing up, that is a potential that could have been in your existence at some point of time. Whether it was or it wasn't, it doesn't matter. It's just showing you that this is something that also exists within each of us. And so that's why it's unfair to judge people and the way that they show up. And the only thing that truly matters is really validating our own experience and where we're coming from. That's the only thing that matters, because the way that another person shows up is their choice. And we could have very easily chosen to show up in that light as well. 2022 on the clock. Yeah, so trusting the process and trusting that everything is happening for your highest good, right? You ask to be aligned with your mission. You ask to be aligned with your purpose. And sometimes that means going through very difficult situations. Okay, you're going to get 2 of these cards. On the bottom, we've got, look, Hecate coming through here with past life healing. So you had a past life connection with this. And if you don't believe in past lives, that's fine. It's just talking about this is something that was in your life up until this moment. Okay, and this is a pattern that's asking to be healed. Okay, and if you do believe in past lives, this is someone that you had a connection to before. Look, throat chakra is highlighted here in this card, and I was talking about how I'm struggling to talk, like I'm tripping over my words, or I'm just struggling to express what it is that I'm trying to say. And so I feel like that's what you're going through is right now. There's an activation of the throat chakra, but it's not about being honest with this person. You've done that. This is about being honest with yourself and taking that very seriously. And not letting this person draw you back into a negative place or into an old pattern, into an old habit, because that's exactly what they're trying to do, because that's what they do with everyone. This is their pattern in life. This is the road that they've chosen to take. Wow, we've got Merlin. You may have very well resonated with another pile here. And I did forget to say, if you watched all 3 piles, leave a purple heart down below. That's for my Purple Heart Club. Just say I made it. I know what that means. And I just truly appreciate those of you that spend the whole time with me. It means so much to me. And for you just spending this one reading with me, or whatever it is that you've chosen, like that means so much to me as well. It just is such great support for the channel. So we have Merlin and Liliana with love yourself just as you are. You are amazing. And by opening yourself up to all of your different lives, you will become the sum of them. I love this synchronicity. We have past life healing with Hecate, and then with Merlin and Liliana, opening yourself up to all your different lives. You will become the sum of them. And we were talking about how this person really believes that they're the sum of all their experiences, but they, not just the sum of their experiences, they identify as their experiences, right? We are the sum of our experiences, but we have to identify with ourselves, not with what has happened to us. The minute we identify with what has happened to us is the minute we lose connection with ourselves. And so this is really telling here. So for many of you, you do believe in past lives, but this is like past life healing here. Wow, this is so synchronistic already on your reading. I love that. So let's get a couple of these. Source, what else would you like to say to pile number 3 today? What else would you like to share with pile number 3 today, Source? What is the pep talk you have for pile number 3? Speeding, surge, flow, addiction. Addiction. So you're speeding up. Things are starting to speed up for you. Things are going to start shifting for you very quickly here. Mars energy is very aggressive, very fast moving energy, right? And so you're going to see this speeding up in life. There's like, when you choose yourself and when you choose to move forward with what you want to do, things are going to start to flow very easily for you. All right, so on the bottom of the deck, we've got bell, call, warn, wake up, and signal. There's a calling. This is a calling for you. This is your higher self calling. This is source calling. This, whatever this is that you want to get involved in, this is you healing multiple lives. This is you healing multiple experiences in this life. And this is a higher calling for you. This is something that's meant to be on your path of purpose. Look, we've got trine. Yes, I love that this came out for you. That's what I was saying. Like, as soon as you tap into it, like, you're going to realize it's like, this is what you're meant to do. This is what you were always meant to do. Angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. Flow. I love that speeding is the only card that flipped over and we have flow and perfect flow here. So this is a part of you flowing. This is how you connect with divine. This is how you come into that very present emotional moment where it's like everything is as it is in this moment. That is like in the zone, right? And then we have Pisces energy, which connects with 12th house. We have intimacy, intuition, and compassion. So you could be a Pisces. You could be dealing with a Pisces. Pisces energy, highly aspect in your chart. You could have 12th house in Pisces, 10th house in Pisces. You could have Pisces in Mars. Or you could have Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Okay? And that's a very specific, I know, but just take what resonates and leave the rest. We've got Peacekeeper. A harmonious resolution is possible. And I feel like the harmonious resolution here is you choosing yourself. When you choose yourself, you're going to find a resolution here. You're going to find an inner standing, and you're going to be able to show up in your highest light. And that's going to give you exactly what you need in order to move on from this situation instead of creating more tension. Right? Because this is already a very tense situation. It's a very difficult situation. We saw a square on the bottom over there, which signifies that it is a very challenging situation already. But the more you choose yourself, the more in flow you're going to be, and the easier it will be for you just to continue to choose yourself here. Look, stand your ground. Yeah, and don't be afraid to stand up for yourself too, right? Like, it's not about... I feel like people get that confused when you're standing up for yourself and trying not to cause drama. Standing up for yourself is not causing drama. It's not rude. It's not unkind when you're standing up for yourself or when you're standing up for your boundaries. That is absolutely okay. You don't have to be aggressive when you're standing up for yourself, but it is okay to be firm. Okay? It is okay to be very clear, cut, concise, firm, and say what you need to say in a succinct manner, right? You don't have to be rude to stand up for yourself. And I feel like that's why we oftentimes get it confused, because it's like people are standing up for themselves. They're saying I'm rude. No, it's not you being rude to stand up for yourself, okay? Look, King Neptune with sensitivity coming out over Pisces energy, which is Neptune energy. Yeah, so you're a very sensitive person, okay? And that's okay. That's all right. But this person also plays on, or this energy, whoever this is in your energy, is playing on your sensitivity. And they're trying to manipulate you with that. And I feel like Source is going to also be bringing you clarity among that. But just know, this is not just healing from this lifetime. This is healing from multiple lives. And so it's kind of been following you around for a while. So give yourself some grace as you heal this, okay? Like, we've got the Sun God in Ezra. Free yourself from lies and deception and live your truth. Shine in your own light. Other people's truths are of no use to you. And didn't I say that earlier? Like, how this person shows up, that's their business. That's their truth. We could sit and try and focus on it and understand it and like ask all these questions of why are they like that? Why do they show that? But honestly, that's just a waste of energy. They're choosing to show up that way. That's their right to choose to show up that way. It really ultimately has nothing to do with us as a person or as an individual. And thus, instead of attaching to that, letting it go, letting them be, and saving our energy for things that are far more important. That's exactly what Ezra is saying here. Free yourself from their lies and deception. That's not your truth. And don't try to make it your truth. And don't try to understand it or understand it, because it's something that's difficult for people who don't choose to be that way in life. It's difficult to understand why someone would be. But just accepting that's their truth in this moment, and that's their right to choose that. That's what free will is. And letting it go. That way you're unattached to it. Risk-taking, go ahead, attack. Glory favors the brave. So whatever this is, they're saying this is a huge green light for you. Whatever this inspiration is. An eternity, immortality, frozen, infinity, and curse. This is something that is going to stand the test of time. Okay, that's exactly what this energy is saying. Don't be afraid to take this risk. It's going to serve you well in the long run. Okay, so let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We've got, wow, defend to the end, worthwhile. Yeah, It's time for you to defend yourself. And defending yourself means moving away from people who just aren't resonating with you or who aren't on the same journey as you. Like, it's not about holding people up to realistic standards. It's not about making people, hold accountability for themselves at this point. It's literally saying, like, this person doesn't resonate with me. That's okay, because there are people who do, right? And moving on from that. It says, beneath the illusions, pretty as they may seem, you know what is real. Beneath the lies, sweet though they may sound, you know what is worthwhile. All that is genuinely and truly essential for the heart to throb with life is worthwhile. Anything that dulls it or suffocates its vibrant aliveness must be questioned, challenged, and more than likely cast aside, for the heart is our key to living an authentic life. What is there once that is compromised? Without its foundation of truth, we are to be forever lost in confusion, doubt, and despair. You are a sacred warrior, a defender of the heart. You have cried genuine tears of your own grief. Wow. And look at her face. I can't make this up. That's exactly what it felt like when we started. This is about grief. Oh my gosh. I love that synchronicity so much. And also the grief of the world. You have raged at injustice and oppression in your own life and in the world. You have felt the need to protect the presence of love, for whilst it is exceptionally powerful, it can too easily be smothered under lies and fear, especially with this coming through synchronicities for you, pile number 3. The sacred warrior must not heed the dangerous voices that say, oh, stop being so sensitive. We have sensitivity. Stop making such a big deal out of things. Love is the biggest deal there is. What else is worth being so sensitive about? The sacred warrior is vigilant about the presence of love, is not chipped away by fear, criticism, doubt, or untruths. Even if others find the unflinching honesty of your feelings difficult to handle, even if those feelings are expressed with gentleness and compassion, the sacred warrior honors the task of being more faithful to love than anything else. This includes the fear of loss. Actually, it includes the fear of anything at all. This oracle brings guidance to honor even the smallest steps in your path of the sacred warrior. They are no less important than the more noticeable and dramatic actions on the path. One single misstep can begin a landslide of great devastation. Being vigilant with what is meaningful and what is truthful, even in the smallest and seemingly most insignificant ways, strengthens the sacred warrior and prevents darkness from gaining a stronghold from the inside. That darkness will be intelligent and sneaky. It will tell you that it doesn't matter and that this one time you can forget what you promised, that you are just one person and that you can't make a difference anyway. That darkness will lure you into a sleepy ambivalence and dull your light if you allow it to. The sacred warrior within will fight with love and honor to be true to what has meaning and never ever allow it to be cast aside, even if it seems easier in the moment. The sacred warrior finds joy and humor in life to prevent the seriousness of the task from stifling the heart that just wants to live and be free. The joy brings strength to the warrior and an expanded, relaxed awareness that can sense the presence of fear, whether it is masked as anger, hate, or doubt, and immediately responds to it with fierce compassion. The sacred warrior will not allow fear to gain a stronghold within the heart. You're being asked to stay strong and stand your ground. This might be a big emotional journey that feels like the fight of your life. It may be in a matter that does not seem to hold much importance. Perhaps, for example, you're contemplating an idea that you feel could be something, but those around you declare it is nothing much or too impractical or too little or too much. This is exactly what I felt earlier. However, what is happening or soon will be happening is worthwhile, so hold tight. Ask for help through the healing process. Stay true to the sacred warrior of love that you are and defend to the end all that is worthwhile. If you feel intuitively guided. Okay, so that, wow, so powerful, pile number 3. That's exactly, that card summed up everything that I was feeling in this reading. Keep fighting for what you believe in and go towards what you're being called to do, because it is totally worth your time and it is so worthwhile. This is about you seeing things from a higher perspective, and you found that through your grief. And that's so powerful. And it's like poetically beautiful, even though it's also incredibly sad. But there's like a beauty in the sadness, right? So this is what I see here for you. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little eagle emoji down below and say, it's through my grief that I've gained a higher perspective of what love means in the world around me. And I choose to express that with passion and clarity. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links in the description box, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member of the channel. With that, wow, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredibly powerful message, pile number 3. And until next time, stay human. Bye.